What's the one thing we can do today to get our products and services and the things that we believe in out in the world and still be sustainable? That would be the kind of question you'd hear at one of these broadcasts every day. But we don't believe that's the right question. No. We're renegades and we want to provoke your thoughts. We want to engage your mind so that you, not us, we're not going to tell you what to do. You're going to develop your own solution to your own individual challenge. Frankly, we don't know what your challenge is. We might have a guess, but we don't know. We want you to figure out what the challenge is. We want to give you some hints for solving that and actually taking action today. This is a show where we help figure it out, help you figure it out, not us, you. I'm Bob Graham, that's Tom Brush, and this is today's Antidote. And Tom, I'm going to start today, if you'll allow me, a real quick story. I was talking to someone yesterday who was complaining about coaching, business books, and articles, and just about everything you can imagine in business. Always says, do these things, do that thing, but they never tell you exactly what to do to make progress. It's just, this is the big picture and figure it out. And this person was really frustrated by that because they wanted an action step. And unfortunately or fortunately, I wasn't in the position to really offer our insights. But I do believe that we try to be different. We want to give people answers. We want to give them solutions that they can consider. It's not that you and I know exactly what's right for any other business. We just are trying to give people things to think about, areas to explore, opportunities that they may not see. That's the goal of this show. So are you ready, Tom? I was doing a little, I know you've got a whole bunch of technology to play with, and I never know. Okay, we've got to learn it. We need a signal that you give me like, Bob, quit talking because I'm ready. Yeah, that's what I need. Okay. Perfect. Hey, Tom, how are you today?
Awesome. How are you doing today, Bob?
I'm wound up. I got up early today. I got a good night's sleep last night. Hey, Tim says hi. I love that you can pop those comments up. I did my meditation. I'm now involved with a meditation group in the morning, which is even better. We do a Zoom meditation, which is awesome. And it's accountability because I'm running the technology for that group. So I have to be there every weekday morning, which I like.
You like being in charge?
I like being in charge. I like having a role. And I also like having things on my schedule that I can't miss. That accountability really drives results. In fact, that's why we started this program. And we didn't celebrate it, but yesterday was the month anniversary of our Facebook group.
Really?
Really. Yes.
Wow.
So I think that's a month anniversary of this program as well, because I thought we started them right around the same time.
No, we started this before the Facebook group, I believe.
Oh, there you go. See, this is how Tom and I roll. We weren't even like marking the date. Like we were in the moment so much that I'm not sure. We'd have to go back and sort it out. So let's talk about today's topic, Tom. Today's topic is really one that I hear from people all the time. How much giving is enough? We've been talking about giving all week, we've talked about how to give, where to give, ways to give. We've really gone at it. And so let's say I went out and every day this week, I did what you guys said and I gave. I helped someone. I solved someone's problem. Like John Wilhelm yesterday was kind enough. I had complained about my technology. Some other people had complained, rightfully so. John was nice enough to call me and we had 3 discussions yesterday where he gave me some real hints on how to fix my technology issues, which I'm hoping are fixed today. John didn't ask me for payment. He didn't charge me. He just genuinely helped me. Now, is John or anyone else in the place today where he goes, hey, I gave yesterday, I don't need to give today? I did my one good deed for the week, the day, the month, the year, and that scoreboard mentality, which let me tell you, Tom, I'm a scoreboard guy, always have been, and I'm trying to break that habit. So what do you think? Is there too much giving?
You know, it's a fascinating question, Bob. Honestly, I think if you brought, in my mind, which is only me, if you broaden the sense of what giving is, we never stop giving. Again, I think if you think of giving in terms of a financial contribution, how much time you have, if you limit giving to those things, then maybe, yes, there is a point at which you can only give what you can give. And I think that there's more to giving, like we've discussed, it's more of what John did was gave. And I think what others do every day, we give to others something. And so I think that we are always giving. It's just how you define what giving looks like.
And we also all take. That's the other part of this. We haven't really talked a lot about the taking aspect of it this week, but there is a component of when John offered his expertise to me yesterday, I was like, oh, wow, John, thank you. That's amazing. Please help me share your knowledge, your wisdom. And I have to be in a place where I can take that, because I could go, no, John, I'll figure it out. It's okay. Or really, John, what's it going to cost me? And I could ask that question. John could have said, hey, it's X number of dollars per hour. Or he could have said, you know what, Bob, I want to see you be successful. I like what you're doing. I want to support you. We get that all the time. I think often we don't understand what people are giving. We don't see it as giving. And I will tell you, I'm not the best person to take people's giving well. I feel very uncomfortable. I feel very like, Tom, frankly, between you and me, I feel like I owe you like 10 years salary because you're constantly giving to me. You give me your wisdom. You give me your time. You talk me off the ledge more than I think you even realize. And I don't feel like I give back equally. And so I'm always thinking at the end of the day, boy, the scales are tipped. Tom, I owe Tom so much. He's going to call it all in tomorrow morning and be like, Bob, I've been keeping track of all this. You owe me this huge give. Do it. I know that's completely irrational, but that's what goes through my head.
No, I think it's rational. I think it's just how you look at it, and I think rather than saying it as take, maybe you look at it as receiving. Is that, and if you're not open to receive, others can't give. And so their cup overflows with giving, and they're like, well, what do I do now? Because I don't have anybody who is willing and open to receive that. And I think that is sometimes more difficult than giving. There's a lot of people who would define themselves as over givers, and because that's all they want to do. And typically those people who overgive really struggle with receiving and really finding a way to be like, okay, it's okay that, and I almost have to do this so that the others who give have the opportunity to give.
Makes sense. I'm going to read some comments, Tom. Tim says, by the way, your stream looks amazing this morning, Bob, which I can't even add a comment to it.
Just say thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. Tim's been on my case all week, rightfully so. That I'm just not doing as well as I could with that. So that means a lot to me. And Tim also pulled one of your quotes off. If you broaden the sense of what giving is, we never stop giving. Tom Brush. I love that. That's a good one. And
I'm going to start to have like a list of quotes.
I know. We've got a book coming. I feel it. Being humble enough to allow others to help us is a key component of achieving our greatest success, Tim says. Let me say that again. Being humble enough to allow others to help us is a key component of achieving our greatest success. And I think that makes perfect sense. And then Peter says branded graphics. That's right. And I love that. And if you're looking also, you'll see that I've added to my name the phrase ringmaster, and Tom's going to do that as soon as he can figure out the magic. And we are ringmasters because we have the Ring of Renegades, which is a Facebook group where you can get more information like this, where we're having people posting really interesting content and discussion topics. John Hansen's been posting. He posted something before us this morning where he was talking about making excuses. And he gave a really great example of where his company made a mistake and he drove to the business and told them, I'm really sorry. I don't know what went wrong, but you have my word. We're going to fix this and we're going to be there for you. And it's the kind of thing that lots of us aren't really thinking about. And there's all kinds of other stuff. There are questions, there are people giving feedback that I asked yesterday for help with my with how I was doing this and got really great feedback. So there's this group of people focused on the opportunities, focused on helping each other, focused on giving and receiving from each other what they can to make themselves more effective in business and in life. So if that sounds like something you want to join, it's the Ring of Renegades. You can look for it on Facebook, or you can track down Tom Brush or me, Bob Graham, and we'll get you there. So Tom, there you go. I love the man. I had no idea your hidden talent. The other thing I wanted to say, Tom, is the whole idea that, we tend to think of giving in cycles. And you probably know this more than me in terms of dealing in the world of nonprofits, because it's the end of the budget year. So in late June, everyone's scrambling to get money. It was Giving Tuesday now, or Giving Now Tuesday, wherever that thing was on Tuesday. And that was the big thrust for the day. And it seems like we have these waves, or at the end of the year, make sure you give before the end of the year because you can get the tax deduction. But that's the financial giving. And I think I'm trying this week, and I haven't really shared this with you or anyone, but all week I've been trying to be specific about giving each day, something new, a different giving opportunity. And not huge things, not like, I wrote someone's business plan and I got their business roll. No, it's just a simple thing for a person that I knew needed something. In one case, it was sending a text to a relative whose wife died suddenly about a year ago and just checking in. In another case, it was having a discussion with a relative about something that I knew was weighing on him. And it's also with a person that coaches me, coaching her a little bit on something that I saw a blind spot that she had. And not like it took me a whole lot of time, but the interesting thing is at the end of the day, each of those days, I felt better about myself. I felt better about my role in the world. And I felt like it was a positive day. And I could look back at that one little thing and be like, that was the right thing to do. Not the thing to do because you have to give back, but just the right thing to be the person I want to be. And I think that's part of this that we don't talk about, that, being that person you want to be, you can be that person who just takes. We all know that taker. Oh, Bob, help me with this, help me with this, help me with this, help me with this. And you're like, really, they never even ask about me. We've all had that person. Hey, Tom, how are you? And they don't even answer. Well, that's really great. So let me tell you what's going on in my life. Oh, really? Okay. And on and on. You're like half hour later. That wasn't an exchange. That was a rant.
Right.
And we all have those people. And what happens with those people? We tend to move away from them. They don't help us. They don't make us feel good about ourselves. They don't support us as we grow. And I think that's the other part of this that's lost, is the giving really does help us become a better person. It expands our opportunities, it expands our capabilities, and it expands that trust, like, and know factor. I did them in a different order. Know, like, and trust factor. Sorry.
Because you're a renegade.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. So what do you think, Tom?
I think your microphone is rubbing on your collar, but that's okay.
Oh,
it's all right. We got to get those big stand-up mics, look like we're
I have one. I just haven't stood it up.
That's fine. So here's my thought on that. You talked about a giving cycle. There's I think a lot of what you said ties into who is the person you want to be. And that's how you kind of determine how much you are willing, able, and comfortable to give. And I think if you're the type of person who doesn't feel like there's a set time, like, okay, it's this week, I have to give this week. Or, okay, it's the end of the year, I have to give at the end of the year. Everybody has their own cycle of when they want to give. And that helps us define how much we have. There are going to be times when we just can't do it. You're going to have days, maybe weeks, maybe a month, where you're like, I just can't give anymore. I have to do some things for me. I have to receive myself and maybe give to myself. And that's a way for us to figure out, it doesn't have to be well, I'm going to do it this day and I'm going to do it the next day. You could wake up every day and be like, here's where I'm at today. And it might even change in the middle of the day. You feel like, you know what? I wasn't feeling so great this morning. I feel like I needed to do something for me. But in the afternoon, I felt different. And now I was ready to go out and give. Because as we've said before, if we're not in a good place, it's going to be very hard for us to give or to receive, for that matter. If we're in a bad place, we think, all right, all I need to do is I just need to keep giving. And at some point, I'm going to feel better. And in reality, at some point, we need to be able to receive for us to really become complete.
Beautifully said, Tom. So Chrissy says, good morning, Chrissy. Love it. Tom, could you give us, actually today we agreed that I was going to give us the antidote.
We did say that.
So
I'm going to give you the chance, Bob, to, what is your one takeaway?
I'm going to try, this is really hard for me, but I'm going to try to receive any gift that someone gives me openly and freely, without condition, and try not to keep score. Because I think if I do that, that will be a good thing for me. And I would encourage anyone else who that resonates with to try that. What about you?
I would agree. I'm going to share this because I think what Neil says here is great. But we give every day, but we don't think of it. We give when we help with homework. We give when we clear up after dinner. We give when we reach out to friends. Giving is a part of being human. I love that. It is. And I think so often we think of that we have to be really clear on what is giving. And it has to be like an action that is intentional. When in reality, it's just who we are, and it's a part of who and what we are. And I think that's the beauty of giving, is that it doesn't have to be this intentionally forced, I'm going to do this. It's just kind of who you are as a person. When John came to help you yesterday, that was who John was. And that's, I think, we have to figure out within ourselves how much is too much or not, and just let it be and happen as it does.
Sounds great. Well, folks, it's been a great week. This is
from Chrissy.
Chrissy, I'm going to give out so many hugs when this is all over. Chrissy, I think when I think of people who are cooped up at home, Chrissy is the one that comes to mind, because if you remember, Tom, Chrissy was the one about 2 weeks ago that during our Rockin' Reboot party, you have the name, I can't remember.
Close.
I got better. She was dancing away in her kitchen, I believe, and I will never forget how much joy she showed in her dancing. It was just so inviting to the idea that you can really have fun. And I could just see her like, oh, she would so like to get out and enjoy things in the world. Soon enough, Chrissy, I'm telling you, it's coming. So Tom, with that, we should probably close the book. I want to tell you that one thing you have given that I really appreciate is you have taken our technology on this thing to a whole new level. Totally. I mean, I give you a hard time. It's awesome. It is.
Thank you.
The way you are popping those comments up there is just like way beyond what I imagined that we could ever achieve. When I'm a big TV star one day, Tom, I will remember you.
You'll have me as your tech person behind the scenes. Hey, I can pop up a comment.
If you want to intern for me, Tom, there's always a free internship for me waiting for you. So, Tom, it's been a great week.
Can I just share one more thing?
Please.
2 things, actually.
You can do whatever you like. You have control.
Here's what our friend Tim said. All right, here's the other one.
Oh, this is so wrong.
It is Friday, so Friday will be our happy hour. Do you want to share with our listeners what our happy hour songs preference is supposed to be this afternoon?
Yeah, I think today we're going to do 90s songs from the 1990s.
Songs from the 90s.
We did the 1970s last week, and it was really fun.
So if you're not in our Ring of Renegades, go to Facebook and join the Ring of Renegades, and you can participate in our Friday happy hour. Share your favorite 90s songs, and
you pop the link, the YouTube link or whatever, Vimeo link up in our stream there, and everyone enjoys it, and we get to see what people like, what songs they like. And Tim is a real active participant. I post a lot of things in there, and I usually I like to add a little story to each song that I post, so you get a little insight into Bob with each of the postings in terms of just things that I like, things I dislike, songs. And, the other thing that Tim is really great, I seem to go in different genres. Tim likes to bring a balance. So if I had a disco song, because last week it was 70s, and Tim was bringing it to much more of a classic rock song. So between the two, back and forth, you got this nice synergy. And what I love about it each week is throughout the day on Friday, I'm being exposed to music I know and forgot about, or songs that I've never heard before. And so if that's of interest to you, it doesn't get in the way of you doing your work. It's just a little bit of extra levity and a way for oh, Tom's posting. Now Tom's writing comments. Jeez. It's just a way to celebrate Friday, and something that we do in the Ring of Renegades just to celebrate who and what we are. So if that's of interest to you, our Facebook group is the Ring of Renegades. That's Tom Brush. I'm Bob Graham. We'll be back with another Today's Antidote Monday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. See you then, folks.
Have a great day and a great weekend, everyone.
And here's where we have to work on the production, because I got to get Tom to start hitting the button when he says, have a great day, everyone.